let's get into it. Another week of Grant's Bachelor. I got my notes here. What do you think of this week of The Bachelor?
It was your typical week.
Yeah.
I feel like it was your typical week too.
Okay.
So group day was first, right?
Yeah, we had our group date first.
They did a good old classic basketball chat. What's it called? 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Oh, and they had kids come out and like teach them and train them.
Well, before we get to the specifics of the date, what's your overall feeling on The Bachelor? We're 2 episodes in.
I mean, it's entertaining so far.
Okay.
I like Grant. I think, typically I would be a little bit like turned off by the, constant serenades and
Okay.
But I kind of liked it this week. I don't know. Maybe a piano is different than a guitar for me. I don't know.
Wow, this has been an interesting week. It's a lot of us talking about this online. I hate it. I hate the singing. Even if he's like, oh, it's just a fun hobby. He's not trying to get famous. I don't need to see it. That's stuff you do in the privacy of your own shower. We don't need to hear you sing all the time, every week. He sang twice this episode.
Yeah.
Is that a record? How many leads have sang twice?
That probably is a record, for sure.
And I hope that was the end of it. I really, really do.
It's no way. No, not a chance.
Well, we didn't see much more in the previews. We thought it would be...
I don't know. I think that's like his thing. But we did see the piano in the previews, and we already saw that. So
well... If he's our singing bachelor, I thought this was gonna be basketball focused, but they did do that, like you said. But
yeah, but then he was like, "It's not about the basketball; it's about the interaction with the kids." I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get into a little bit of that. Let's get into the group.
Except, really, he really might be kind of trying to distance himself from the basketball thing because I feel like, if that's something that was like really important to you and you did it, but then it ended, he might have kind of weird feelings about it.
True, that's a good point. I thought that was a huge part of his life up and past college a little bit. But now that could just be, you're right, something he did in college. Interesting. Well, let's talk about that basketball group date.
The best part was when they showed the fake nails on the floor.
Yeah, all the nails falling off.
Nails on the ground.
Yeah. These girls, not too many of them seemed like they were going to get contracts in the WNBA.
Okay, Zoe, though, she was ready to win.
Yeah.
She came out the gate, guns blazing. She was saying she used to play... Didn't she say she used to play basketball?
Yeah, I can't remember. I know she said she was athletic at a bare minimum. But my standout from the date, I believe Chloe was on that date. She got MVP, if you remember.
Oh, yeah, she did.
She's tall. She was getting boards. I saw some buckets in the paint.
Okay.
They kissed after the game and in their one-on-one time.
Oh, and she got the jacket, his letter
right,
jacket.
The MVP.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
She deserved it. She looked like a natural out there.
Yeah.
Chloe's a front runner for me. She got the very last rose at the rose ceremony, which is not a good sign.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I am like, maybe it's just because you have red hair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
she seems to be our only.
You like redheads.
No, I like you. You know what I'm saying? And so she's our only redheaded contestant.
I know. I agree. I'm root for the redheads.
Yeah, I'm shocked that you're not all team. I mean, you are, but
there were some shockers at the rose ceremony, but we'll get into that. Yeah. So but okay, we got to talk about Zoe though.
Yes, you're right.
Really. So they were all taking turns doing what is that called? Dunking.
No, they were calling it dunking.
Well,
they were doing layups.
Obviously not a real dunking.
No, not even close.
No, but I thought that they had it like lowered down. I thought they had lowered down.
Maybe I missed that part.
And they were like,
fake. They were actually dunking. Oh, okay. I missed that.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but yeah.
Yeah, and Zoe was like, well, I'm actually gonna steal Grant, and they go all the way up to the roof.
Yeah.
And then it's like nothing. Like it's not. They don't even conversate really. And now, of course, everybody's like annoyed that happened.
We didn't see them in the elevator. We just saw them going up, right?
Well, yeah.
Who knows what kind of, because we know he doesn't have a problem making out. Who knows what they did in the elevator?
Oh my god!
No, I mean, clearly, I'm sure they connected. Is all I'm trying to say.
Okay, maybe
what?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they would. First time there's no cameras. Come on now. Anyways, that's so.
I don't know because he doesn't seem that into her.
Yeah, but
because remember then on the part after the group date after, like when the drinks or whatever they call it, I don't know. He was like, I am also interested in having more of an emotional connection with you.
But that's my point.
That's why you're saying like
yeah,
they probably like, hooked up on the elevator.
We know there's a physical connection.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see if there's any substance.
Maybe. I don't know.
It felt so produced. Like she from the very get-go, I remember having her like seeing as though she's going to be either okay with being a villain or okay with just saying whatever the producers just tell her. Sure. But and I'm sure the producer's like, hey, you want to take him up to the roof? I could do your move.
I'm sure. But Allie Joe was having a really hard time with her. She was really not liking her behavior.
Yeah.
And I guess Zoe pushed her in the game, and Allie Joe, like, really pushed her.
Yeah.
Pushed Zoe.
Well, Allie Joe is a boxer.
Yeah, okay, yeah. There's something about the girl that I'm like, I can't put my finger on.
She's a boxer.
She looks like she's like, but when they went to have drinks, she looked like she was like straight from the 80s. She was in a purple dress with like these flowers in her hair and her makeup. I was like,
it's vintage.
I guess. I don't know. It just threw me off.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think she's going to go far. I don't expect much from her relationship with Grant. But she has to, I mean, it's basketball, girl. Like, there's going to be some physicality, and I thought she would be okay with it, but I think it's almost like, I'm a boxer. I could totally push you around. Don't push me around. I think she maybe took offense to that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Natalie. Natalie was not.
Is she the PhD?
I don't have her. I didn't write down her stuff.
She was on with the kids.
Yeah. She helped the kids. Because she said she's not much of an athlete, but she helped them. A kid who got overheated, and Grant really liked that interaction. Mm-hmm. And I think it kind of led to her getting the group date rose. Mm-hmm. She ended up, they kissed on the group date rose, had a good connection.
And that's when he was like, it wasn't about the game, it was about the interaction with the kids. I'm like, okay, Grant.
Yeah. Natalie, she made a comment. She said, they would have very tall kids. She's tall, he's tall.
She did say that.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Yes, I know. Jared almost didn't marry me because I was too short.
Don't say that. I did not almost not marry her. It was just a consideration.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I remember when it became very, very clear that I did intend, to pursue a committed, potential marriage. Someone literally was like, "Y'all gonna have short kids," and I was like,
"Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
Yeah, short people can be athletic too. Okay.
They can be athletic.
But maybe our kids can be. I don't know.
Anyways, let's say your parents are both athletes.
Yeah.
So it'll skip a generation.
My sisters were too. Better athletes than I was.
Yeah, that was a low bar to clear. So other things that happened on the date, I don't really have too many other notes from that date.
Yeah.
It was just it was assortment of kind of those first week girls. Yeah. And so then we moved on to the Alex one-on-one date.
One-on-one date.
In the moment, you and I are, well, you more so, but we're both, I think, shoppers. I would say. I would describe us both as shoppers.
Yeah, but
and in the moment, you said that this was your kind of date.
Honestly,
going to the mall is what we're talking about.
People are talking so much crap about this date. Right. I'm like, that looks freaking fun. Right. I would love that date.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that old Disney movie, Blank Check.
Oh my god.
Where the kid just like goes wild and spends all this money because he got the blank check.
Being groomed by a grown woman.
Yes. I'm sorry. I not that part, but like I don't know, running wild in a mall and just doing whatever you want and trying on clothes and shoes. And
yeah.
I don't know. It just looked fun to me. Now, it would be a little creepy to be in a mall that was completely empty, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be fun.
Yeah. It was at the Beverly Center. I don't know do you know what this means? Dog race. I wrote that note down.
What?
Dog race.
Yeah, they were
They
racing
on
on those little.
I've been looking at this note like, what was I talking about? Like, did I mean rat race?
Things.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, that's where we got our first Grant on the piano.
Yeah.
Jamming out.
Yeah.
Singing to her, oh baby, baby, or whatever it was.
Making up that little song.
Horrible.
I liked it.
Horrible.
I don't know what's happened to me.
You were literally like, oh,
maybe it's the pregnancy.
You wrote down. Well, I wrote down that you said, oh, when guys do it with guitars, it's like, oh, girls, get out of here. But the piano had.
I know. I don't know what that is.
I guess I need to learn piano lessons.
I think so.
So Alex let us know that she was raised by her grandparents.
Yeah, she had kind of a rough
relationship with her parents, and Grant before that also that came up because he said he wants to be a better dad than his dad. They connected there. She hadn't seen her dad in 17 years, and she's estranged from her mother, but she seems like a great girl. A great woman. She is the speech therapist, great with kids. So
what did she say? Yeah, didn't she say that's what inspired her to become a speech therapist?
I think she did, maybe. And at the end of the day, they danced to one of my favorite songs of all time, "Sea of Love" by Cat Power. Come with me,
really,
my love,
really,
to the sea. The sea. I was in my chair.
Maybe you should learn that on piano for me.
I was like, they're in love. How could you not dance? Are you dancing in an empty mall to Cat Power? Like, come on.
I do think they have a connection, but I could see it being one of those like early connection that fizzles out.
You know, she has such a bubbly and welcoming personality, and it kind of makes her easy to talk to, and you defeat that awkwardness that I could see them being, like you're saying, not to say fizzle out. Maybe fizzle out is the right word, but like friendship. It develops, but a friendship develops, which happens in the real world. There's initial like whoa, but you're like, oh, okay, we're just friends. And I'm hoping that, but we see her crying in future.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe past this friendship, and there is not the happy ending. But who knows what she could be crying about? There's so much stuff. It looks like she's crying at the mansion, so it could be next episode. I think it is next episode. Yeah. So that was the end of that date. Group date. We get I don't know what was the second group date. Was I putting our son down?
Were you asleep? No, I don't remember either.
I think I blocked it from my mind because these are truly the cringe dates. Where they had to perform their own written song. Now it started off on a high note.
Say that I think Mario is the biggest star they've ever had on the show. The biggest musical guest they've ever had.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's so true.
They had
some of the country fans might disagree with me,
and for some reason last year I remember having some bands. I can't remember who they were now, but I remember I think it was Feist was on there.
Yeah,
Feist is bigger than Mario, in my opinion.
That's true.
That might not make sense, record number. But anyways, I'm not putting that on the pod. No one's ever going to catch me saying that, even though that is true. Anyways, I think you're saying he's the biggest one to you.
Yeah.
You were singing along to the lyrics.
That I like for once I was like, oh, I know this song.
Yeah, and you know what I think? I think especially because his songs have staying power. Everyone knew the words to "Let Me Love You," and sometimes if you're not a country fan, you don't know any of those words. And I know the bands and groups that I were excited about this last season, no one knew except me. But and maybe Joey, maybe they change it up for what you like.
Maybe
because they were not gonna have Grant out there dancing to Blake Shelton.
Country,
yeah. So yeah, Dina. All the rest of the girls were on that date. I wrote some notes down. Dina, she didn't seem very fun.
Wait, which one is Dina?
Dina's the one that kind of looks like Alicia. People were suspecting he confused the two, but she's the power lawyer from Chicago whose family like doesn't always, They give her a lot of backstory. I think she's going to have a slow building storyline because they gave her so much backstory. But I literally don't understand.
I don't see them.
She doesn't. She hasn't looked. I don't know if I've seen her smile once.
Yeah.
And she seems like all business, no play. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's into that. Maybe he wants a project manager. You know what I'm saying? I quoted you. You said Rebecca looks old. Can you care to explain that?
Oh gosh, don't put me out there like that.
That's what you said.
I don't know. There was just something about her face that I felt like made her look old.
Okay, that's enough of that.
I don't know.
I thought it was her. She has a very distinct smile. I say distinct in a very peculiar way. Mm-hmm. It was felt like something you'd see in Coraline or something.
Was I thought that they had a connection, and well, maybe not. We'll get to that.
Well, no, let's talk about it. Like there was like he came into the awkwardness, which we'll talk about.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Why were things awkward?" She explained it, and then he said, "Okay, I don't want y'all to be awkward." Then they cut away to her saying, "Like we had a really good connection in our one-on-one."
Yeah, that's true. It was weird. It was like he was just trying to get information from her as to why the vibe was off.
Right. So
but I don't know. That to me kind of says he trusted her to tell him the truth and tell him what was going on.
Here's the real tea. This is why she got eliminated.
Okay.
People were making fun of her. I thought in the moment you don't know you're going to sing. You're in front of people you don't know. Mm-hmm. And a moment's notice being able to even carry a tune is very impressive.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not a professional.
Absolutely.
And she met that bar. People said, "Oh, she's not a good." I think she did better than Grant. In my humble opinion. And it's could just because I'm biased, but anyways. And Grant was like, I'm not getting married to a better singer than me.
My God.
He said, I'm the one making the record. He doesn't want to take a girl to the end and her singles blow up and not his. Wow. That's what it's all about.
That's petty.
The music industry's cutthroat. What can I tell you? So, yeah.
So basically, yeah, they did a little solo, a little dance.
But which I barely saw. Anytime they're singing on reality TV, earnest singing, I'm out of there.
Yeah, you can't handle that. That goes past your cringe.
But Carolina won because she spoke Spanish, kissed him, and did a lap dance.
Well, that was after she won.
Oh, that's right.
But I think she might have kissed him during her thing. Yeah. I don't remember. But then she won, and I guess then Mario sang to them, and so they were dancing. But then, yeah, she gave him a lap dance, and they started making out.
Well, she straddled him. I don't know if it was kind of a tame lap dance.
I felt so uncomfortable watching that. I don't know. I had countertransference because I was thinking if the role were reversed and you were the Bachelor and I was there watching that happen, I would be livid.
Of course.
I would be so beside myself. Yeah, of course. I would be so sad. What you do in the privacy where I don't see, okay, that's your business.
Good. Let me write that down.
On the show, if we were on the show. Okay. But in front of me, I would probably cry, which one of the girls did. I can't remember which one.
This is so obvious. Like this is a reality TV show, but it is still the real world.
Yeah.
No one wants to see their boyfriend or girlfriend getting straddled and made out with. Now, even if you're willing to okay, I'll date while you're dating other people, that happens in the real world too. But again, if you walk in, even if you're like, oh, we're still, we're not exclusive. If you walk into a place and you see someone you're talking to cuddled up and they're like riding each other and you'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, it just was not it for me.
Listen.
And obviously the other girls had issues with it too, because then when they went to the party afterwards, they confronted her.
Yeah. Do you remember when Chance, do you know who Chance the Rapper is? Mm-hmm. A while ago, Chance the Rapper was in the Caribbean
yes, in the dance.
Yeah, he was getting, and it turned into this whole, gosh, it was back when I was on Black Twitter, but X is dead to me. Rip. Thank you, Elon. But anyways, there was a whole debate and it spilled over into my office and people were like, bro, Jared, would you get mad? Would your wife get mad if you were in the Caribbean and that happened at a festival or whatever. I'm like, I would hope so. That's horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this is The Bachelor. We suspend all rules and.
Well, and I mean, some people really probably think that is okay, and that's fine. That's their business. But for me, it was not it.
And for the girls, it wasn't it either. It brought some awkwardness to I'll call it the cocktail party. I don't know if that's what it's officially called, but the after group date, whatever. And, the vibes were off. The girls felt it immediately. Carolina felt it. This is Carolina. I'm disappointed in you. Is it I think it's Carolina. Carolina, I'm disappointed because girls have a right to not be happy that you won. You know what I'm saying? You are all competing for the same man. You want them to be like, go Carolina, make out with our boy. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, grow up. I don't want to say grow up, but like have some empathy. Like, perceive how others perceive you a little bit. A little bit.
It was funny because that was her thing. She was like, why can't these girls just be happy for me? And then something happened at the cocktail party.
Well, because she asked. I think they were like, the vibes are a little off. And I think they started off just kind of being like, well, yeah, it was a little rough for us. She was like, so why can't you be happy and sad at the same time? You're like,
No, but then something happened later. Do you remember where she was like upset?
Well, that's because
you and I were both saying, why can't you just be happy for her? Well, maybe it was with the rose?
Yeah, it was the group date rose.
Okay.
She was upset she didn't get the group date rose. She didn't feel validated.
Okay.
But come on. But she brought it up. Like the girls, the way it was edited, of course the girls were upset, but they weren't like going and being like, I didn't like how Carolina acted. It was more just like when he asked, they were like, well, yeah, it was not the best thing to see you dancing.
Yeah.
With another girl.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. That's, of course, who got that group date rose?
I don't remember.
I believe it went to Latia. Let's talk about Latia.
She was crying.
This is week 2 of ABC's Mormon campaign. They're trying to ride the Mormon trend. Mark my words.
You know what, though? I like that she called him out. She was like, listen,
yes.
You said that I am used to getting what I want, and that's not true, because all I want is to date someone and to get married and have a family, and that's exactly what happened. Or she said,
the last
I'm
guy
used
told
to
me
people.
No.
Yeah, I'm used to guys always telling me yes, I guess.
No.
What
he
is
says, I bet you don't get told no a lot.
And
she was like,
okay.
No, that's how the last one ended. I got told
no. Yeah.
So I think that's a good call out because it brings up something to me about Grant that I think exists in both ways. And depending on your perspective or your bias, I think is how you view Grant in this season. And I already hearing how myself speak. I'm not saying this because I am elevated and I have a better viewpoint of both things. But I do think as a guy, I can speak to some things that I've seen girls react, the ways they've reacted to Grant. Because I've seen both ways.
Same.
Grant is a smooth talker.
Yes.
And he's a good looking dude. I don't want to call him a player, but I'm sure he doesn't have any problem with the ladies, right? To the extent of like talking to them and maybe attracting them. And he knows what to say. He knows how to say it. And he's a little bit of a player. But I do think he has a genuine concern. Some guys use those talents for evil and are psychopaths, sociopaths, and do not care about women at all.
Absolutely.
I do think he does because he corrected himself. He said, okay, I didn't mean for you to. And then he said, tell me why you say that's not the case.
Yeah.
Which is a perfect. He didn't say, oh, you're a great girl and I see that. And he was like, no, tell me what that means to you.
Absolutely.
When ladies would ask him about things, like on Alex's date, when she told him about the past, he didn't just go, wow, man, that's, that's tough. But you're hot. So, no, he asked more about it.
Yeah.
And then related information. So I see both sides of him, right?
Yeah.
And he's also singing and wants to be a singer.
Well, we also should know that he picked up the simple fact that he picked up on the cues.
Yes.
That the vibes were off, the girls were unhappy.
Yes.
Whereas some men wouldn't even recognize that or notice that
and
at all.
He asked what's going on.
Right, yeah.
You tell me how I can help you guys. Now, is Grant, I know the ladies love Joey. I didn't realize Joey had become girls is like ladies like Hannah Brown. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize people love Joey. I remember you cried at Joey's trailer every time they would show Joey's first season. I was like awkwardly sitting next to you.
I still don't talk about Joey like you talk about Hannah Brown.
That's not true.
So
I talk about Hannah Brown maybe once a year when we podcast. Whatever. Anyways, all I'm saying is I think Grant. There's two sides.
Yeah.
To Grant, and I wouldn't even call him sides.
Yeah.
I think he is a smooth talker, but I don't want to throw him in the
player category.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what I reserve judgment because we know the season ends with less than an hour before the girl's arrival. He doesn't know which one he wants to pick. But I think that has less to do with him being. I think he cares about these women.
Yeah.
And so we'll see his growth. Hopefully he gets past the smooth, which is what happened on last season. We were like, this guy's, is he just saying all the things? And then there was one episode we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's what we can expect. Mm-hmm. Before they went to the cocktail party, they randomly set up Bailey Brown, feeling like she didn't have enough time with him. I can tell you one thing, Bailey Brown, you are not getting picked. I can tell you that.
I love her name, though.
Of course you do. That's your... Well, yeah. And, but.
Well, I think, it seems like maybe she's not used to people telling her no.
No. Okay. That could be it. I'm going to go the cynical route. She's a social media manager. Mm-hmm. She's thinking about time. And the more time she's on the show, the more social media followers she's going to have.
Oh, you are on her for that.
She's going to be on Bachelor Nation. Bailey, come on the pod to dispute or don't. But, I mean, I know I'm sure is also the wanting to be with Grant, but I just refuse to believe that someone whose profession it is to go viral on social media and attract eyes doesn't even consider the thought of how her edit and what she's going to look like on the show.
Yeah.
And I think the producers are like her because I would venture a guess that all the women on the show who didn't get time were crying about it that week.
Yeah.
Or sad about it that week. And but she was the only one who got her time edited. Yeah. I mean, who got on the show talking about that. So clearly they want her to be on the show.
And then at the cocktail party, she got a lot of screen time too.
Right. Grant started the cocktail party talking about how, let me get his words exactly. Well, not exactly, just from my notes. Hold on. He said he is, I didn't write it down. He just said, I guess he was looking for emotional availability. Mm. And that really resonated with Beverly. She wanted to, talk about that. I like that she didn't just take it for face value and go like, oh, thanks. Yeah.
I don't remember who Beverly is.
Well, I do. That's why I'll just talk about it. He said she didn't just take it for face value. She was just like, what did you mean by emotional availability? And then I don't think he adequately answered the question, but she was satisfied. Maybe they edited weird.
I must have fallen asleep during that.
It's possible. You're very tired now.
I don't remember
you are
that at
literally
all.
Days away from giving a light to another baby. Okay. Then, this one kind of hurt me a little bit. This one hurt me. I always root for I don't want to say always, but typically I find myself rooting for the men and women who get casted on these shows who are not your prototypical, stereotypical cast. Mm-hmm. And so Ella, I believe she's the luxury host or whatever, wrote him a heartfelt letter.
Yeah.
And he connected. He asked to keep it, which...
Yeah, he thought it was sweet.
Right.
He wanted it.
And she was so, amped to give it to him, and she felt like that was reciprocated in his response. And he doesn't pick her.
He sent her home.
Yeah,
that was so weird.
I mean, if she's not the one, you have to do it. Don't string her along, but I was rooting for her.
Yeah.
At bare minimum to get more screen time so we can see her in paradise.
There were two other shocking exits as well. One being Rebecca.
Yeah.
Because
I did think Rebecca was, until I thought about the singing, but yeah.
Yeah. I just thought that the fact that they put, I don't know, she had screen time, and then he sent her home, and then Alicia.
Yeah, there's some conspiracy online
weird,
about Alicia and why she got sent home. She had such a strong connection. I think a lot of people had her.
She had the first kiss with him, right?
Yeah, a lot of people thought she was going all the way.
The distance, yeah.
And I thought I had her high when I was watching the first episode. I was like, "Oh, she's going all the way, just like everyone else." But then she didn't get too much screen time this episode. It's almost like there's conspiracy theories. And what she say? Didn't she say she would tell everybody what happened at the final rose at the?
She said, "Wait
women
till
tell
the
all.
women tell all."
She would tell what happened, but who knows?
Who knows?
If the producers don't want people to know, they're not gonna.
She might not even be on Women Tell All.
Right. So she didn't make it. But
it was weird though.
Those were the big. Also, Vicky got eliminated, but I don't even remember who Vicky was. So,
I think she was the what's it called? The girl, not the shot girl. Is it called the shot girl?
You couldn't call her that, but she's the no, I can't remember. But yes, yeah, the bottle girl.
Bottle girl, bottle service.
Bottle, yeah. So, but that's not what they called her. So that was another week of Grant. I would say we'll make this quick. Who do we think is in prime position? After watching all the good lovey-dovey music, after seeing the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives at the end, promos for the season they're airing on ABC, I think this is all a setup for Latia to be our winner. I think Latia, if I had to pick right now, Latia wins. Grant converts to Mormonism.
Wow.
They moved to Utah. They join.
Utah?
What did I say?
Utah.
Yeah, they get in a U-Haul and move to Utah. They join Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Oh my gosh. No, Mom Talk. She can be on Mom Talk.
She'll be on Mom Talk because that's ABC. You're right. So, who do you think? Who's your prime leader right now? Although I'm rooting for Chloe, but go ahead.
I don't know. I think I would have to pick Alex.
And Alex, you're right. Yeah, I want it to be Alex. I do think Alex might be the best. She seems supportive. I don't know if he's got it in him to make that kind of decision.
Yeah.
All right, that was The Bachelor. Great episode this week. Or not a great episode, but it was great for us to talk about it.